Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Press Box. Brian Carson here with my co-host Kenny Varner. How you doing, Kenny?
Oh, not too bad. How about yourself, Brian?
Pretty good, hanging in there. Tonight, our guests, thankfully, they've decided to come back. Yesterday, a big day and they were key to it. Mifflin County, the school district, the stadium fundraising committee broke the ground for the Kish Bank Field at Donald M. Chapman Stadium.
Don't forget the third, Brian. Donald M. Chapman the third.
The third, sorry about that. Donald M. Chapman the third. They broke ground yesterday. Tish McClay was there. Former senator. He's former, right? Jake Corman.
Yes.
Okay, and well, you guys were there. I saw you. I watched it on the stream on Mifflin County TV. You guys had to be thrilled. Both of you go through it for me, what your feelings were, because I know this is, you guys were key in this, instrumental in getting this even started in the first place. How was the feeling of watching that whole ceremony and the groundbreaking, knowing that, the stadium's coming?
Go ahead, Johnny.
I mean, it was a beautiful day weather-wise. And, I was just looking around and to see all the kids so excited and, the donors so proud of what they were participating in and partnering in, to really come to see it after 3 years come to that point. I know this county accomplished something special, and I was proud to be part of it.
Yeah, I can just say the same as Johnny. It was a unique feeling yesterday. There were times I didn't know if we were going to get there, and once we set up the press conference or the groundbreaking and the press conference, I'm sorry. I was counting the days down, and just a lot of people made it happen. And I want to thank two people in their crew. Roger Hurto, who wasn't there yesterday, he decided to skip town on us, but he and Matt Moore. And you talk about a stream for Mifflin County School District and Mifflin County TV. Those two guys do one heck of a job and setting up the press conference. And Mifflin County is fortunate to have those two individuals who care that much about the county and sports in this county, plus other things. I mean, they do the school board meetings, of course, and I believe they do some borough council meetings, and we're fortunate to have them. So thank Roger and Matt and their crews.
What does it say about our area that, and I know before we got on, you were saying that there was some donors that came through in the last minute that really helped you, that really helped get this going. What's it say about our county in your mind, that everybody, that it wasn't an insignificant sum of money to raise, that they stepped up like they did?
It's been 30 years, I believe, since we've had our last major capital campaign that I've been involved with. I know there have been some. Dell and Rose Guarini just did one with the Catholic Church, and kudos to them. But it was the YMCA back in around 1994. So I believe my math is correct. It's about 30 years, and we don't go to the well often in Mifflin County. It's a lot of blue collar area, but we have some good industry here. We have some good business people here that have, like a car dealerships. Bill Lake is one, and of course they're one of our donors and supporters. But we're not after them every couple years for something big in Mifflin County. I think when we go, they feel good about what we're trying to do and passionate about this county and what this county needs. And the conversations were all fluid with our donors. They wanted to be part of this because they have been part of Mifflin County. I mean, if you go up and down Standard Steel, how many years have they been here in the community? Don Chapman, who, our Johnny and my good friend and partner in crime with this, passed away, but he grew up in Mifflin County, and he originally was going to do the $1 million gift until he passed, and his wife Ayan just stepped forward to do it. Kish Bank, an institution. We mentioned the lakes. It's Clayton Homes, used to be Marlette Homes. They've been here for years and years. The Guarini family. Everybody knows the Guarini family. I don't want to leave anybody else up at, the Capolias have been here for a number of years, and they have the fitness center up in Strode's Mills. Johnny, help me out. First Quality found Mifflin County as their home, and they wanted to do something here. Fleet Reps, Kevin Walker. Kevin Walker grew up here. He coaches kids. He wanted to do something. And Markel, which was the company that Donnie Chapman founded, Nittany Paper, Markel purchased them from Donnie probably 5, 6, 7 years ago. And, they wanted to support his idea too. So I hope I'm not missing any of our major naming donors, Johnny. If I am, please jump in.
Yeah, I think you got them, and, Brian, Mifflin County has an underbelly of people that truly love this county and are so generous. And it might not be with money. It could be with time, that they invest in this community. It's so much like yourselves, you and Kenny, what you give. And, this project, I think, is really an eye-opener to our community to say, if we band together, anything is possible. Yeah, it might be the first major project in 30 years, but down the road, a couple of guys are going to say, you know what? Mifflin County did this in 2024, and we could do it again for whatever the next project is, and they're gonna feel confident about it. Because when you think of that no other county can raise $50,000 to send a baseball team to the Babe Ruth World Series like we can, nothing can stop this county when we put our minds to it.
And I know you guys, both of you, really believe this. You're passionate in this. This stadium, I want to get your thoughts on it. Well, this sports complex, this is something that's going to be bigger than just like having like sports and that. It's going to be good for businesses, the community as a whole, down the line in the future.
Before Johnny answers that, I just want to say something to what Johnny said. And Johnny, don't smack me the next time I see you. But you said guys and also women, in Mifflin County. And Tish McClay, let's give Tish McClay a huge pat on the back in this one, because she's wanted this artificial turf and stadiums for years and years and years. And the timing was right for the whole thing to come together. But she was Tish kept pushing. She kept pushing, and it's finally here.
Yeah, and sorry, Brian, I'm going to add more to what he just said, because people don't realize, we're the face of this thing, but we got people behind us that are so giving in their time to us to help us and are not getting any recognition. And a few of them are women that they might not feel like they've participated a lot, but their opinions have really molded a lot of the things that we do, like we just bounce ideas from them, and they really, their opinion has been so helpful, and Brianna Bottler, Stephanie Moon, Christina Calkins, Becky Stringfellow, and then we have JT Thompson and Wade Curry and AJ Hartsock and Roger Hurto and even Bobby Hammond. Like we reach into these people to feel them out and understand how we need to attack different donors and situations. And at the end of the day, Joel and I get way too much respect, but there's just so many people that have helped us.
Yeah, one name I don't want to forget, Johnny, either is Jason Cologne.
Yeah, and Jason Cologne.
Jason designed this brochure for us, which is a tremendous brochure and gets compliments everywhere we take it when we make our pitches for major gifts.
Do you have it with you?
I do. I don't know.
There we go.
There you can see it. But it's I believe a 12-page brochure, and we'll have to get you one of these soon, Brian. So you and Kenny have these. We'll be getting them out more in public, but we were using them as part of our presentations when we went to visit potential major donors.
But to Brian, go ahead back to your question, the impact of this complex to this community.
Yes, down in the future. I mean, we're looking at right now, but in the future, and I think, and Tish said this to me too, even more than sports, of what it can mean for the community.
Well, right off the bat, we already have the state championship for marching band getting ready. They're already starting to plan that in Mifflin County.
Nice.
So, I mean, that's
I heard Vance say that yesterday.
Yeah, the facility's not even built, and we already got the state championship for band, and they sold out Hershey Park Arena last year, the outdoor arena. So, I mean, put that in perspective, what it can do for Mifflin County, and it's centrally located for sports. But the bigger thing, what people don't realize is when people come to town now for a football game or another sport, and they come to this facility, they're going to be so blown away by our high school, by our complex, and by the views that you get to see, our beautiful mountains in our community. They're going to be like, wow, something's going on here. I want to know more about it. And that's a real thing. And people in this county might not understand that, but that's a real thing.
And the economic windfall too to the local businesses and the local stores and stuff. That's definitely something too, right?
Yeah, I mean, and that's why I say that's a real thing, because not only do they spend money here, but they come back. And if people doubt that people are coming back to Mifflin County, they should call the Visitors Bureau and ask him how many people are booking Airbnbs. I mean, we got a ton of Airbnbs in Mifflin County that are booked all the time. People are looking for getaways, and this just adds to it. It's going to bring more visibility to our Central PA community, and that's a windfall economically.
Now, looking at it on the sports side too, though, this is going to be a great chance for us to get at least District 6 playoff games, if not PIAA.
Well, I know State College is happy that we're putting in this facility, because mid-Penn teams, and if a District 3, District 6 matchup happens, guess where they might end up now?
Right here.
in Lewistown, Pennsylvania, at this new stadium. And that was one of the things. We originally were looking at 3,500 seats, and we added 750 seats, which would be the student section and the band section. We talked about the band a little bit earlier here. So we're over 4,200 seats, Brian and Kenny. And That's a nice sized stadium. It's not Mansion Park in Altoona from a size standpoint, or Cumberland Valley, but when you're looking to play, there's no reason not to want to play here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, you guys, was your goal 3 million? Am I correct in that? Or
Yeah, that was the original. That was the original goal, and
Well, Joel, that was the original goal with Corman's commitment.
well, it was 4 with Corm. We were looking at 2 and 2 originally,
Yeah.
and then when Jake came in with 3, and if you listened to him yesterday, he had this 1/3, 1/3, 1/3 mantra. So we figured we'd have to come up with 3, and the school district, we just kept asking them to continue to add to the pot a little bit more than 3. So but we're we're sitting in the $4 million neighborhood right now, and we'd like to raise another $500,000 plus dollars. Johnny wants another $1 million, and we have the next 75 days, Brian and Kenny. Am I allowed to say balls to the wall?
yeah,
Well, we're going balls to the wall for the next 75 days. The website is really close to being live. We have some community fundraising efforts that we're going to go after. Facebook, social media. We're looking at different ways to reach out to the community. And Johnny and I still have, there's a handful of major gifts that we still want to lock in. And, you want to talk about the major gifts, John?
No, go ahead. You go with that.
All right. Well, one of the things we'd like to name still is the track. We have a concession stand at the second field that we would like to name. We're working on the student section at the main field to get a name for that. We have 4 locker rooms that we're looking minimally would be the home or at both fields, the home and visitor team room, locker room on both fields. And we're looking to name the dugouts also. We had one of the school board members yesterday said, why don't we look to name part of the band viewing area where they will judge competitions after former band directors. They think there might be an opportunity there to bring some people into the fold there. So, and those gifts are all in the 50. The track we're looking to get $100,000. Everything's less than $100,000. It's between $50,000 and $75,000 mostly. Plus, we still have 5 legacy benches that people can memorialize some family, honor some family, do things like that. There's a local business that's going to use a bench for their business also. And those are in the $60,000 range. So we still have some nice naming opportunities. And the way we've set this up is that you can do this on a 5-year pledge. So when you're talking $60,000 over 5 years, it's $12,000 a year. We're not trying, we don't need a check up front. We're willing to stretch it out. And from a pledge standpoint, we're now even accepting any pledge for $5,000 and more. So if you want to do $1,000 a year for 5 years, we're taking pledges at that level, and we'd be happy to get anything from $5,000 up. Believe me.
nice. So the website and all that, is that going to be? You said that the businesses were first for the community to donate. Is there anything been set up yet for like non-business people to donate?
So we have, what Joel was talking about was the naming stuff.
Yeah.
We have $1,000 club. Someone who wants to make a one-time contribution for $1,000, and that'll be the minimum amount of money you could donate to have your name on the donor wall. We also will have bricks and pavers for sale. Initially, we're going to sell the bricks at $200 a brick, and a paver is $500, and it's double the size. But you can get John Pannizzo Class of '88 with the Mingo logo on it. And we think we could sell over 1,000 of them. So if you do the math, 1,000 times 200 is going to be $200,000. So those are going to be good things for us.
And Johnny, that 200 is going to be the first 1,000 special, because we had set a price at $250 for a brick, but we're looking to get 1,000 people on board real quickly, or as quickly as possible, and we figured we'd drop the price to $200. So maybe that'll be the turning point or the impetus for people to buy a brick.
Yep. And then we're working on naming the locker rooms and the dugout at each facility, and where people could put money in to honor somebody. And that'll be an emotional thing. And we're still working on that. And, we'll have a community match for that. So that'll be important. And then, we're going to do this 50-50 raffle where we hope that we get it out on Facebook and to all the non-residents of Mifflin County, but our descendants of Mifflin County that live throughout the country, want to jump on and be part of. So, we got something for everybody, but you really want to get your stamp on something. A brick is going to be a great way to do it. With a $1,000 club.
And that'll be a legacy, we're with a brick, $1,000 club, anything more than that, because your name will be part of the stadium. You'll have ownership in what we're doing. It'll be a legacy. We're also going to look at a GoFundMe for anybody. If somebody says, I want to be part of this, I want to have, I can only do $5. We'll have a GoFundMe page. And, again, for anybody that wants ownership in this project, we want to make it available for them. And we waited until this time, so there was no turning back. With the shovels in the ground yesterday and the equipment arriving on site and the contract signed, I mean, it's full speed ahead. So our original concern is, if something would happen, how do we return money to people that we don't know their names? And we don't have that concern anymore. So because this project is full speed ahead, and it's good to go. And Johnny, you might want to talk a little bit about, I know the young ladies you talked about and your idea on the t-shirts. I think it's a great thing that we're going to do.
We're going to be also selling t-shirts, and they're really not about making money. It's really about marketing. And, we decided we don't have a t-shirt in Mifflin County that depicts all the high schools that were in Mifflin County. And we created a design. We're still trying to nail one more PDF of one high school. And once we get that, we're going to have a design of with the Husky in the middle and all the other logos around it: Chief Logan, Kish, Lewistown, Penn Highlands, Rothrock, Lewistown Granville, which is the one we're trying to get, and Indian Valley. And we do that in full color of the actual colors of those schools, and it has building our future and honoring our past on it. We feel like that's just a great marketing thing. We just want to sell them to get them out into the community, and have people, with pride wearing them. But really, that's not That's not about the investment into the stadium, but that's for people to feel connected to it and to be prideful of what this project really means to this county.
Yeah, if there's anybody out there that has the Lewistown Granville maroon and steel Panther logo that they can get to us, we'd love to have it. That's
Yep.
the one we're, as John said, we're struggling to get. And, maroon and steel ended, I believe, 1970 graduating class was the last year of the maroon and steel, because Penn Highlands was 71, 72, and 73. And then Lewistown took over the blue and white colors and the Penn Highlands uniforms, starting with the class of 74. So we're trying to nail down this maroon and steel for all the Panthers.
Yep. And if you can't get a hold of us, give it to Brian and Kenny. Both of them personally know how to get a hold of us, and yeah, we could use help on that one. We should probably get Greg Williams on that too.
I'm sure somebody out there has it. I'm sure.
Yeah.
I have no doubt about that. No doubt. That's a good idea, though. I mean, that should be pretty popular.
Nice collector's item too for everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, what do you think now is the critical steps to make sure that this project's finished on time? I mean, end of the year, that's pretty quick. I mean, to get that done.
Yeah, but you know what? Companies make money on being efficient. So the longer they drag it out, the more money it's going to cost them. And they have to get it done because the grant says that for us to keep the money, it has to be done, or at least a main part of this piece has to be done. So Vance is on top of it with Tom White. Tom White's been phenomenal. I mean, we're blessed to have him in the school district overseeing this. With Vance, he knows construction. He understands how these things work, and he's going to be on top of it. And we're blessed to have him. They'll make sure it's going to get done. The only thing really can hamper us could be weather, but I think we're going to be okay here.
Earthquakes.
Yeah. Got to watch out for the earthquakes now. Everything's changing. It's the earthquakes in New York. Who'd have thought? And all that. Yeah. So, respond to, and there always is, your critics who didn't want this stadium, who thought it was going to get too much money and all that stuff. Respond to the critics.
Well, listen, change is hard. Different is different. But, I always say to people, we've moved on from rotary phones. Okay. Things move on for the better. There's a history and a pride in Mifflin County, and it's hard for people to move off of that. But we need to be excited about the future generations of this county. Mitchell Field was almost 100 years old. They couldn't even figure out how old it is. They just know it's almost 100 years old, and it was time. Today, and Kenny and Brian, this guy, and I haven't even told you this, but Dave Lukens, you guys know Dave Lukens?
Yeah.
Kenny, Dave Lukens, right?
Yep.
Dave Lukens was at my place today having lunch, and he goes, he had the paper in his hand. He goes, John, did you hear they're building a new stadium? Okay. I said, yep. He goes, that's going to be great. I said, are you going to go to the first game? He goes, I want to. And I said, Dave, you can be my guest. And you know what he said to me? He goes, Yeah, I couldn't go to Mitchell Field because it's not handicap accessible, but the new stadium is going to be handicap accessible. And I sat there so proud of what we've done. The first thing out of his mouth was, it wasn't handicap accessible. So, I say to the critics, we're blessed to have so many things in this world, but this stadium needed updated. And there are people in this community that really want this. And it's evident by the amount of support that we've gotten. So, that's really my thought on that. And it's hard to let go. It's hard to move on, but it's time.
Well, I'll talk about this a little bit. And I think the high majority of people knew it was time for something. Some people just couldn't get their arms around the whole project. And, our feeling was, if we'd have done this 10 years ago, this 18.5 million might have been 8.5 million. And if we wait another 2 or 3 years to add baseball and softball and lights to the second field, the 18.5 might turn into 22.5. The donors were there. The state of Pennsylvania was there. The school district, I give Vance a lot of credit, former Superintendent Jim Estep. I give the school boards credit. They've managed their money well over the last 5-10 years. They've made some tough decisions, but they've managed their money well. And again, it was, as Melinda Knapp, who is a CFO, and boy, is she a dandy, has said at numerous meetings, this is the time. And, she knows the numbers. She sees the numbers. So it was like a perfect storm coming together with the three of us. And, well, some didn't want to spend 18.5. They might have wanted to spend 12 or 14 but it was needed. And, fortunately with the vote we had from the school board back at the end of October, they moved on the whole project. And once it's done, I think everybody's going, this whole community, this whole county is going to have the opportunity to enjoy it, use it, and see how our kids benefit from it. And it all comes back to kids. And that's going to be so beneficial. I'm turning 70 years old this summer, and God willing, I'll be here for a lot of years to see this. And, but these kids, Mitchell Field lasted, as John said, for almost 100 years. We're going to keep, this high school is not going anywhere. This county's not going anywhere. Let's give them some facilities that they can play on, they can compete, they can be proud of also.
Yeah, and as Tish brought up yesterday at the groundbreaking, the kids wanted this too. They went to that school board that night of the vote and were very passionate about how important it was to them.
Yeah, what the naysayers don't understand is that these kids are truly amazing. The students that are coming out of this school district right now are so impressive. At that meeting, I looked at Joel and I said, I don't know of a group of kids from my era that could have spoken the way they spoke. That was powerful. And, they're underestimated, this generation of kids. But the other thing that we underestimate is what they see. And they're going to all these other communities, and they see that their communities are giving them, the best of everything. And, we built this school, whether people wanted it or not. We built this great facility, and under ESTEP and now Vance Varner, we're producing amazing kids. That's what happens when we invest in our future. And this is really another one of those investments.
Kenny, you got anything? I've been hogging the conversation.
Kenny's used to you hogging the press. You got the perfect partner. If you were partners with me, you wouldn't get this much airtime, right?
I think you guys are doing a great job, and I kind of agree with you when you just to say that the kids, we've had our memories, we've had our time to shine. Now it's these kids' time, and they deserve something to have their memories, and it's a dawning of a new era, and I think it's gonna benefit everybody, and it's great that what you guys are doing.
Well, I'll bring something up. You said eras. When I was a senior in high school, 1972, guess what? Lewistown School was condemned. You guys remember that?
Hmm.
I was a senior in high school. It was condemned. That's where we played basketball. And that wasn't the reason it was condemned. But our gym, you had about a foot and a half from the end line to the wall and out the doors in the Lewistown gym, if you remember correctly. And, we needed new facilities back then. We got the new Lewistown schools at that point in time. But just think about it. My senior year, I went half days to school. And I loved it in baseball season because my half day was in the afternoon. We would went to the old the Chief Logan School, which was fairly new back in 1972. And, I'd go to school from like 12 to 1 and get out to play baseball. I mean, it was great for me, but the school was condemned. And, we need as the story John told about the gentleman, Mr. Lukens, handicapped, and the facilities. The facilities can't handle handicapped people. I mean, they couldn't do anything new at Mitchell Field because if you do, and Johnny, you correct me if I'm wrong, if you do, you would have had to upgrade the handicap facilities to do that. And that would have been very expensive for them to make that decision. So that's a lose-lose situation. That's not a win-win situation.
No, I know that personally since I've been unfortunately in a wheelchair for a couple of years. I haven't been to a game at Mitchell Field in like 3 years.
What?
Because I couldn't go.
Brian, seriously, what if you needed to go to graduation to see your kid there? How would you navigate that? Right?
I wouldn't be able to go.
That's what people don't understand. Mitchell Field is historic to Mifflin County, and it was a special place. But there were real issues there, and people we don't talk about that enough because we don't want to harp on that. But, after speaking with Dave Lukens, the first thing out of his mouth today, I'm like, wow, it's bigger than we can imagine,
Oh yeah, I mean, like me personally, I wouldn't even be able to. If it wouldn't be for Roger streaming, I wouldn't be able to see the football games or anything like that.
Can you think about the people that you spend time with,
Mm-hmm.
special needs?
Mm-hmm.
How difficult it is at that facility.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I mean, there's hazards everywhere. I mean, so Joel's right. If they would have moved one structural thing in that facility, the whole thing has to become code compliant, and it would have been cost more. It would have cost more to bring it up to code than it would have been what we're doing now at Highland Park.
Well, yeah, and it's iconic, and people want to hold on to that for memories and that. I understand, but it was like if you're talking about like an image of your community, when you compare that to the other fields in the Mid-Penn,
yeah,
Mitchell Field is an embarrassment. And I know people who love Mitchell Field are going to hate that. But yeah, at one time it was fantastic, but not anymore.
Do you remember Tommy Richards? He graduated with me, played at Chief Logan. His boy plays at Hershey, and he played football, and they were up this year, and I sat with him. And he told me that the kids in Hershey, they love Mitchell Field because it's the only stadium with the backdrop of homes against it but they hate playing there because of the conditions.
Yeah.
So something had to give there, and we're thankful it was the right time. Like Joel said, a lot of perfect storms collided to really make this happen. At the end of the day, our school board voted 6-4 that it was time, and 6-3. I'm sorry, yeah, and that it was time to get this done, and it's happening.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but I was covering school board at the time, and I think even the ones that voted no, the 3 that voted nay, wanted the stadium. They just didn't want everything, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, they all acknowledged it had to be done.
Yeah.
But it was hard for them to comprehend the costs. But, this is a 3-year project, and we've had to go through one of the greatest inflationary periods in our generation. And, like Joel said, if we pieced it together and waited 5 more years, this thing could have been $25 million by the time it was done. So, I will say they all acknowledged it needed to be done, and they had to take care of it. They were appreciative of our efforts to raise money. The dollar number was hard for them to accept, but they did know that it needed to be done. Joel?
Well, and I think we talked about this back in the fall when we were on your podcast before, but for every dollar that the school district is spending, they're getting approximately 60 cents free. So, if I'm going to the grocery store and somebody's giving me 60 cents for every dollar I want to spend on my food, I'm going 3 days a week instead of once a week. And you just don't come up with that kind of deal very often. And we're so fortunate that we could present that kind of money to the school district to help them out. And I think you're going to see this model carry on throughout the state of Pennsylvania and other states in public schools because the costs, with the inflationary costs and everything, when you need facilities, whether they're indoor facilities or outdoor facilities, are the school districts going to be able to handle it on their own and their taxing basis? Are they going to raise taxes just to build things? I think they're going to have to go to the public and try to do capital campaigns to help them build. And if their communities are as passionate as our community has been, and we believe our community is and will be, then they'll be successful also.
One of the school board president at the beginning of the early stages wanted to do a survey. He goes, let's survey the community to see if they want this. And this is when we were saying we were going to raise $2 million, which, we had school board members tell us they never thought we would get 2 million. And I said at the time, I said, if we can't raise a 2 million, I think you'll have the answer to your survey right there. And here we are today. We're on our way to 4.5 million. And that's a resounding yes to any survey. So, but Joe hit the nail on the head. Not only is this the model for future generations, but what Mifflin County did is going to resonate throughout the Commonwealth of PA. We put school districts and communities on notice. They're saying, hey, if Mifflin County did this, we need to look at this and figure out why we can't. And you're going to see this happen throughout the Commonwealth. Joel's already had school districts reach out to him to pick his brain about how they can do it. So that's going to happen.
There you go. You got another side job. You can be a consultant, Joel.
Well, yeah, but it's not going to be not going to be a volunteer like Mifflin County. I can tell you
That's what I
that.
meant. Charge an arm and a leg.
Yeah.
Charge an arm and a leg.
Yeah, I said to us, I said to Joel for a school district, I said, hey, I did it for free once for my community. I don't have time to do it for another community.
Yeah.
You know?
So, was there ever any doubt in your mind at all about raising this money? Any at all?
The doubt was totally erased from my mind in probably about October of 2021. That's how long we've been doing this. When Don Chapman and Johnny and I, we had a meeting at the downtown OIP. That is a damn good restaurant, by the way. And talking about this project, and we were started to look at naming opportunities, concession stands, fields, scoreboards, press boxes, stadiums. And Don asked the question that morning. He said, "What do you think?"
This is after we spoke to Jake Corman. Remember that?
Yes, it was after we spoke to Jake. Yes, and Don said, how much do you think we're going to ask somebody to name the stadium? And the three of us looked at each other, and I forget which one said. It was either Johnny or myself said, we're probably going to look for $1 million. And we all shook our heads in agreement that was a good number for the stadium. Later that afternoon, I was at home and I received a phone call from Don. And Don said, Joel, I want to name the stadium. And at that point, I knew we were going to do it. There was no doubt in my mind because we were 1/3 of the way there with his $1 million commitment to this stadium. And we knew other people, once we had that, as in fundraising, you like to call that whale. Once we had that whale on board, we knew there were going to be other people and businesses follow.
The reason I brought up the Jake Corman part was because then Joel called me and told me about Don's conversation. So I called Don. I was just so elated. And, I remember the first thing I said to him on the phone. He answers the phone and I said, "Are you effing kidding me?" And I mean, and I used real words there. And we had a chuckle. And he said, "When I heard you guys talk about your meeting from Jake Corman and how well it went, I knew it was going to happen, and I knew I wanted to name this stadium." And there was many times throughout this where every time we come out of a meeting with someone and get a commitment, it felt new again. I mean, we walk out of there feeling like this is going to happen. And Donnie's was the first. We're like, yeah, something's going to happen. This is going to happen. But every time we walked out, whether it was, Bill Hayes, the Capolias, we got a couple on. Don't forget, we got an unnamed donor right from the start, Joel. I don't know if you want to name that.
Yeah.
But we walked out of that guy's office and he committed 6 figures and doesn't want his name on anything. And every one of them was exciting up until the last one we recently got. This thing has been so joyful. Giving is so joyful, and hearing how people just want to be part of this at the magnitude they want to be part of it just got us excited and gave us that energy and that boost, because it's been 3 years and it's been a hard 3 years and there have been lulls in this whole thing. And then all of a sudden someone would come out of the woodwork and says, "Hey, I want to give you this." And it would just reinvigorate us. And it's like the fountain of youth, and we get all excited and giddy again. And it carry us for another 8 weeks, and so, yeah, the first time was when Donnie committed, but each and every donor just gave us new life. How about it, Joel?
Yeah, I mean, it was it was fun smiling at each other on the ride from wherever to wherever that we were going. And we're there, holy heck. And, it's a good feeling on our part. And we knew as John said, it's a good feeling on anybody's part. And I mean that whether someone gives $1 or someone gives $5 or someone gives $1 million or anywhere in between, people feel good when they give because they're making a difference. And that's the neat thing, the Salvation Army kettle around Christmas time. When you throw a quarter in there, you feel good about it. It's going to a good cause. And fortunately, we had. I'm not going to say necessarily a cause, but we had a transformational project here that the people in Mifflin County wanted, and they're stepping up to the plate, and they will continue to step up to the plate. We're confident about that, and it's helping our fellow Mifflin Countyans when somebody makes a donation, makes a gift.
Yeah, I think you're right on that. It's given once you do it, it's I think it's part of our DNA. Human beings, we just once you do it and you feel so good doing it, you want to keep doing it.
Yeah, but giving in Mifflin County is different because I've had friends from other counties tell me that, yeah, we don't give like you guys do in Mifflin County. Like even on the Babe Ruth Trail, when we raise money to send the teams to the World Series, we'd have families, wonderful, wonderful families from Snyder County, and they're like, "Yeah, we don't get into giving like this, like you guys do. This is tremendous," and it would open up their hearts. People in Mifflin County are very, very giving, and we're underrated for that and underappreciated. But I gotta tell you, ever since yesterday, I've been getting text messages. Joel's been getting messages. Yeah, Donnie Chapman and his wife Ian gave us $1 million, and we've done a ton of 6-figure gifts. But we're getting calls now. Hey, I want to give $50, and that excites me. Like I call them up, and I'm like, you wouldn't believe who I just got a call from.
Yeah.
So, please, I don't want people to think it has to be big. I want to see that $5 GoFundMe page just go right through the roof, because that means more people are invested, and it just solidifies that this was the right thing for this county at the right time, and we didn't need a survey to prove to 9 board members that the community wanted this. All we got to do is show them the number of people that step forward, and it excites me.
Agree wholeheartedly with that. And it's, we have different programs, and one size does not fit all. And you fit where you can and what you want to do. And believe me, we want you to be part of it.
Is that you said the website's going to go live soon, but there is one that's up already, right? That mcstadiumproject.com. Can you do anything with that, people?
Go ahead, Joel.
Or no?
Talk about that.
Well, that is our website, but we don't have live links yet.
Okay.
We're trying to finalize the bricks, the $1,000 club. I do, the GoFundMe, just to get everything linked, because it's sort of been a soft start and we haven't announced it to anybody. Some people have found it and have called us about it that we can't do anything with it. And, we're apologetic, but we're walking before we run here, because we don't want it to be a disaster that when we really go live, that we can't handle what people want to do.
Makes sense.
Mhm.
Me and Kenny will buy a brick if you put it in the concession stand, because that's where we spent. That's where we spent most of our time
And money.
But like that brick, whether it's that brick or if it's $5, you are a stakeholder for life. For 100 years, you're a stakeholder in this project, and that's And that's an important feeling. That's a really good feeling.
Absolutely. Thank you, Ed Stewart, for the like. Appreciate it. Ed's
He
a good.
has
Ed's a
He has to
regular.
because his wife, being on the school board, says you better like this, Ed.
Ed's a regular listener of ours.
Ed was out at the groundbreaking yesterday with his wife Diane, who of course is a school board member. Been very, very supportive of this project.
Yeah,
Awesome.
Ed's total class.
Yes, he is. Absolutely. And then you, John, you've made Ray Wild happy. You mentioned Babe Ruth, and you've got an MC hat on. So, you know, Ray's a regular listener. He's probably thrilled right now.
Yeah, Ray's one of those guys when you're going to sit back at some point in your life and say, man, he was special. He really was. His commitment to this community. And, you know, Kenny, remember when I said about we have so many giving people in this community, not just their time, money, but their time. Like Ray's another example of that. You know, just an icon.
And then we got some people that just listen to us. We don't want him to, like Brett Treaster, but he does.
Who's that? Who's
Brett,
that?
Yeah, I know. Who is that? Who is that?
I asked Brett if he could shovel a little tax money to this, but he told me to get away from him. So
I'll tell you.
I love Brett Treaster except 2 days a year.
When
I have to pay my school taxes and
the taxes.
Yeah,
Brett, we went to school together, him and I.
Yeah.
And I saw a picture the other day they posted on Facebook of you at Jaegertown Babe Ruth with that curly afro. That was I forgot about your curly afro. That was pretty neat. But he gave us a like, and so did Tish Himes Foltz.
Oh, Tish
yeah.
Former Indian Valley basketball player.
Yeah, she coached too, right?
Yeah,
yes, she did. She was a tough little guard, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
So, okay, the stadium, put yourself there. Stadium's built. First event there. You guys are there. What's going to go through your mind? How are you going to feel seeing this? John?
My heart's going to be full. Just seeing everyone just enjoy what they've really accomplished. I got teared up just talking about Dave Lukens. I can't wait to bring him as my guest. To know that he can just be part of this. My heart's just going to be so full of what we've accomplished. It's generational.
Joel?
I'm going to look around the stadium and see a full house.
Yep.
And I'm gonna get teary-eyed. And I hope at that first game we can recognize some special people that have made this happen. And that'll be a momentous night and just be so meaningful to me because the people that we've worked with that have helped us, that are part of this community, they need to be appreciated for what they've done. And, and anywhere from administration, school board, donors, givers, you call what, but when's the last special night like that we've had in Mifflin County history? And that's going to be just a special night. It'll probably blow us all away.
Can you imagine all the buzz leading up to the opening night? Yeah. Just how our town is.
I mean, there might be some people that can't get tickets, and I don't know how that's Tish's problem. But with ticket sales, I don't know how you're going to do it, but I would expect to sell out plus some. So how do you accommodate everybody? And we'll probably have some people that are upset with us. And but 4,200 will be there. Maybe we can get some standing room in also. But Tish better start thinking about that, John, don't you think?
Yeah, because it's going to be it'll be in high demand, and the two other factors you got to add to that is the job that Shane Breon is doing with the football program and the band, the high school band. You throw those two factors, the football team's winning, the marching band, they're winners, they're winning all the time, and now they're going to have a facility where they could really showcase their talents. It's going to be huge. I think it'll be sell out it'll be a while till there'll be empty seats. It'll be a while.
Which will be great to see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yep.
I want to thank Matthew Kaufman also and Avery Amspacker for the likes.
Hey, everybody, how you doing?
So we got a couple comments here. Let me look. I wasn't paying attention.
Probably a couple of them say how good looking I am, but who knows?
Actually, it's Treester.
Oh, nah.
Kudos to John, Joel, and everyone behind this great accomplishment. And he laughed at me. I think we talking about him and his hair and all that. I found one other thing that really bothers me about him: the Phillies and the Eagles and all that Philly crap.
I agree
that-
with you, Brian, 100%.
All that Philly crap. Oh, Brett's
He's
a
a real
great guy.
fan. He's a real Philly fan. I will give him
Oh
credit.
yeah. Oh yeah.
He gets
He's
that
great.
honestly. I worked with his dad, Jerry, and Jerry was a big Philly fan. He probably wouldn't let. I'm sure Brett was trying to go to Pittsburgh as a young kid, but Jerry wouldn't let him. So he ended up with Philadelphia.
Ironically, I think Brett took his dad to the All-Star game in Pittsburgh. So they finally got there, I guess.
Nice. That's the thing. You're like you mentioned that, John. There is so many people. What I found in my years covering sports and that, it's just you run into so many great people. You really do around here. I mean, athletes, parents, coaches.
I mean, Kenny, how long have you and I known each other?
Oh, since our YMCA basketball days.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking 45 years. Kenny and I have known each other, and every time we run into each other, we just light up and we chop it up, just talking. And how about it, Kenny? There's people everywhere like that in this county.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, and it's like you run into family. It's just like so yeah. That's why I keep coming back. I live in Belfort right now, but I come to work in Lewistown every day. So that's a great place
to be over here.
Any final thoughts, John, Joel?
Well, just thank you guys for having us again, and maybe as we get closer to the grand opening of the stadium, we can come back on and talk some more. We're going to basically this capital campaign. I will say that there still will be opportunities to give after June 30th because the website will be live. We'll keep that going, but from a capital campaign stop, it'll be 3 years, June 30th, basically. And we felt that was plenty of time in this area to do it. So like I said, we're balls to the wall for the next 75 days. I'll give my phone number right now. It's 994-3321. If anybody wants to talk about the $1,000 club, they want to talk about pledges, please give me a call. I pick up all calls, and I'm willing to talk to anybody on anything, even if it's not at that level.
I'll put that up there.
Please don't hesitate to call me. And again, thank Kenny and Brian for all your support. And let's bring this to the finish line strong.
You bet.
Can't wait. Yes.
And and what I want to add is we want to roll things out here once it's done the right way. The bricks and all this other stuff. But in the meantime, get on our Facebook page. Follow it, like it. That way, you're going to get everything once it comes out. Go to our website, MC Stadium Project. Facebook is Mifflin County Stadium Project. But just follow that. Here's a big deal. Your friends, your classmates from out of town, share it with them. Get them on it because, they're going to want to be part of this too. And wherever we get our donations and pledges from, it's all going to the enhancement of Mifflin County.
Awesome. And we definitely want you back.
Oh, definitely.
One before the stadium starts, and two, Johnny, we want to see if you get $5 million.
Yeah, I that's my personal goal, but this whole thing's been a home run. This whole thing's been a home run. So it's been great.
Can somehow hit that number, I'll be getting the good stuff out that night, Johnny.
Hey, thank you both for coming back on. We appreciated it. It was a great night. I usually don't announce this, but usually we average about 6,000 to 7,000 people a week, but not live. They'll listen to it at their own convenience. We had over 1,300 people live tonight.
Wow, that's great.
Wow,
that's fantastic.
So that's awesome. That shows you about the community, and how we rally with each other.
Yeah, like I said, we're so underrated in Mifflin County.
Yeah, a lot of people have negative views of Mifflin. You only hear the negative views. There's some Mifflin Countians, like everybody, are negative. No matter what, they're going to be negative, and that's all you hear. And it's like it's not that way.
Yeah, I mean, Kenny, is there someone in Mifflin County, if they called you, that you wouldn't give your shirt off your back for?
No, I'd help anybody.
I would, except for Brett Treaster.
That's what we got here in Mifflin County, and this is bringing that to the forefront, and I'm proud to be part of it. And if Ray Wild, if you're listening, you need to call me back. I can't wait for his media book. That media guy's going to be something.
Oh, I know. Brett, I was just teasing. I love you, buddy. Yeah, it's going to be fun. And thank you, guys. Congratulations on the groundbreaking. Thanks for coming on. Kenny and I appreciate it, and we hope to see you soon.
Thank you.
Yes, thanks, guys.
Thanks for what you do. Thanks.
Good night, everybody.
All right. Good night. That's
Night.
John Pannizzo and Joel Diamond. They are are you the heads of the stadium funding committee, or maybe the face, I should say, of the stadium funding committee?
Probably the face more than anything.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you could see tonight how passionate they were about it. Johnny got a little choked up, and
yeah, Joel and I say if this was about us, we would never have gotten the project to where it's at. I mean, it's about the kids in the community.
Totally.
well, awesome job, guys. Congratulations. Oh, hi, Michelle. Michelle Schaff said hi.
Hello, Michelle.
Hey, Michelle.
She was another classmate of mine. We're getting a bunch of classmates tonight.
Yeah, her husband was played a lot of ball with Steve.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Hey, go Mingos. Once a Mingo, always a Mingo, Karsten.
I only went through grade school, elementary, and middle school, and then we moved. My high school years, unfortunately, were at Bald Eagle area.
Yeah.
All right.
Not that I have anything against Bald Eagle area. Just I didn't want to be. Your whole life you live here and you move there.
Yeah.
I lived in the woods. Felt like Grizzly Adams. All right. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Yep.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Good night.
See ya.
Yeah.
Bye. All right. That was a good one, Kenny.
That was. There's been it's going to be a great thing once you see everything completed and done.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen the artist renderings and the computer models when I was covering school board, and I'm telling you, it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be sharp. The only thing I wanted that they couldn't do, Kenny, well, they could do, but I guess it costs too much money, is I wanted a wheelchair ramp up to the press box.
That would have been cool. Or an
So I
elevator.
could start covering games.
Mhm.
There is one, believe it or not.
Is there? Nice.
But back when they were in the Keystone, not the Keystone, they're in the Keystone now. Mifflin County football. Oh, geez. What was it? What league was that? The Commonwealth, the Keystone. Remember the one they were in?
Wasn't Liberty, was it?
No, that's one Juniata said. I'll get it then.
Okay.
I'll get it then. But it was, I believe it was Dover in New York area.
Mm.
Had one. It was a ramp, like a wheelchair ramp going right up into the press box.
Oh, nice.
I was like into that.
Mm.
That's before I had the wheelchair thing. I just liked walking up it, without going through the crowd and the stadium steps.
Yeah,
But hey.
some of them are pretty steep.
But no, it's always fun to talk to them when they come on, and
Mm-hmm.
we have a good time. And okay, do you have any shout outs?
Sure do.
All right, let's rock this.
All right.
Because we never care, but we already went over.
What's time?
That's right.
All right.
All right, buddy.
All right.
Shout outs.
Okay. I guess we'll go with the top one here is the Mifflin County boys lacrosse team. Shout out to
Danville!
them. Yeah, down 6-1 going into the fourth quarter. Came back, scored 6 unanswered points, and upset Danville. And Danville's one of the elite teams of the league. So great job, guys. And then they turned around, and yesterday they defeated Mifflinburg 20-7. So nice 2-day stretch for them. And Drayson Weaver led the charge with 4 goals and 6 assists. So good job, guys.
Absolutely.
A little update on, of course, someone who's very familiar with the shout outs is Juniata Phenom pitcher, Liz Gager. She got another 13 strikeouts today. And
Is that all?
Yeah, she kind of hit a slump. She needs only 18 strikeouts to hit the magical 1,000 strikeout mark for her career.
I'm telling you, Michael Gazer, you might not be listening tonight because I had a game. But when she hits 1,000, I want her on here.
Yeah, you've been after her for a year now. So
Yes. I know that we were talking before we got on. They're 7-0 this year and have outscored their opponent 79-3.
And that's kind of what Craig Bubb wanted to see before when we talked to him before the season started. He wanted the offense to catch up with the defense and Liz, and it has so far.
Oh yeah, Reagan Lowry's been on a tear.
Mm.
Reagan Lowry, Craig called her the best catcher in the state, and she's acting like it.
And Gager offensively is just as potent as she is on the mound, or I guess it's in the circle.
Yeah.
So, yeah, congratulations. This another one goes out to the Mifflin County softball team. picked up a signature win on Monday, topping Central Mountain 5-3. Dakota Hirschberger hit a grand slam to lead her team to victory.
Good
Not
volleyball
shabby.
player.
Yes. And another shout out to in the softball is Belfont. They defeated Bellwood Annis yesterday, 21-2. So the bats were working.
Ouch. Ouch.
Congratulations. Yeah, it looked more like a football score than it was a baseball or a softball.
21-2.
Kudos to the Belfont baseball team, still undefeated at a perfect 6-0. Braden Cormanic picked up the one-hit win. They defeated Bellwood Annis 10-0. So I wouldn't want to be a Bellwood Annis fan right about now.
No.
So congratulations to the Red Raiders baseball team. And that is my shout outs for this week.
And I got one. All the wrestlers coming up to Bryce Jordan Center this weekend for the Olympic trials. It's going to be awesome. Bryce Jordan's going to be sold out. You know how wrestling is in this area.
Oh, yeah.
And actually, good news is they announced that Peacock, if you have the Peacock streaming channel, that and USA Network are both going to broadcast the trials.
Oh, that's excellent. That's
something that's never happened before. That shows you wrestling. It's gaining in popularity. Finally, that they're going to even start showing the trials, because I don't know if they've ever done it before. Not the whole trials. So, unfortunately, I don't have Peacock.
Oh, you don't have Xfinity.
I have Xfinity, but not Peacock.
Well, sometimes it's your package. They have Peacock free.
I know. I don't got it free. I looked today. I don't know. Oh, well, I'll figure something out. But yeah, so a shout out to them. It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
See who our Olympic team's going to be. Any coverage you're doing this weekend?
Yeah, I'm actually going to be. I did Mifflin County opening day for Little League Sunday, which was a great thing. The Mifflin County Youth Baseball League is off and running. So I'll be doing the same thing this Saturday up here in State College. They're having their opening day ceremony, so I'll be there covering that, and pretty much be up here the end of this week, and then hopefully get back into Mifflin County and Juniata County next week.
Awesome. Sounds good.
Yeah. Weather permitting, of course.
Yes. Always got to say that in the spring.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Well, all right. That's going to wrap it up for us tonight. A good show.
Yeah.
We thank John Pannizzo and Joel Diamond for coming on, and everybody for listening. Kenny, have a good one, buddy.
Hey, you
Take
too.
care.
You too. It was good talking to you again. I missed you last week, but we with the rainouts, what are you going to do?
There was nothing to talk about. You guys wouldn't have want to heard us for an hour talking about nothing.
Yeah.
What we did over the weekend. I'm sure that would have listeners. But hey, it's going to wrap it up for us. Another week. We will be back next week with another edition of the Press Box. For Kenny Varner, I'm Brian Carson. Thank you for listening, everybody. Have a great rest of your week and an even better weekend. See you later.
Good night, everybody.